Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the 7th generation of the Mercedes SL, or rather I should say Mercedes-AMG SL, because this is an AMG specific model available only in AMG trim because it is being designed by AMG, of course, and too much of AMG has been said right now. But this particular car is the R232 code name, and straight away we are going to be opening the engine bay because since it's an AMG, we have a V8 right here. It's huge, says AMG. Handcrafted by the person who handcrafted it. The name is written right there. Insulation, little bit different type. Gas struts, of course. There's no space here. That is how big the engine is, of course. And this car is quite wide. It has the typical Mercedes bits like the Pan Americana grille. Huge Mercedes logo which has radars hidden right behind. There is a camera here. AMG logo right here, like is the case with the new A45 AMG as well. These actually open and close depending on when it wants to breathe. Huge openings for better breathing, of course. And the lights are actually slim. This is the DRL. The lights are very powerful, extremely powerful. In fact, this is AMG written right there. And this also converts into the indicator on the other side. You get these power bulges on the hood, and the hood is like really very long. In fact, from the side, you'll realize that a lot of space actually goes into the hood only because the rear is quite short. So this is around 4.7 meters in length. The wheelbase is 2.7 meters and it runs on massive tires because these happen to be 265/40/20s. 21s are optional. AMG red colored brake calipers. These are aero optimized wheels. Yeah, a little bit different. You may like it, you may not. And Michelin tires, of course. Fake bits here. V8 bi-turbo 4MATIC Plus written right there. There's a light which actually comes out from here. It does not project AMG, but it actually shows you where is what. And there's a camera here. It gets 360-degree parking camera. In fact, some of the cameras are confusing. Okay, you've got two cameras there for ADAS, rain sensor as well. Another camera, I think. And what is this sensor? I don't even understand. It's kind of crazy. At the rear, obviously the tires are bigger in spite of the fact that this is 4MATIC now. 295/35/20s. 360mm disc at the rear. At the front, 390mm red colored AMG brake calipers, and you get parking sensors almost everywhere. Fuel actually goes in right here. What should be the tire pressure is also written. Door handles are very similar to what we have seen on the Mercedes S-Class, so they pop in and out, and obviously they also have a light there at night, so we're just going to get them out. They're not coming out. Come out. It actually turned off the car. How stupid is that? Come out. So the thing is, it should open the door now, but it does not. Instead, yeah, there it comes out. It says Mercedes-Benz right there. But turning off the car, that wasn't cool. This thing does not glow, which is quite disappointing. And we have to turn on the car again. So here we go. And because this is a Roadster, a convertible, let's actually put the roof down. So here, I press the button. There. Okay, audio turns on its own whenever you turn on the car. So here we go. Come on. And there, oh my god, this is so badly done. Yeah, now finally it is going to go back down and open. They could have done it much better, I feel. A physical button for a lot of things would be so much better. There's a button called all, which actually puts all the windows down, which is kind of cool. And now look at this car. It now looks worth the price because with the roof down, it looks so much better. Oh my god, this is amazing. With unlimited freaking headroom. Awesome. This is the key, could be a little bit more adventurous. This is to lock the car, this is to unlock the car, and this is to open the boot of the vehicle, which we shall try, but it will obviously not work because the car is on right now. So the lights are beautiful. In fact, you can see dynamic swipe indicators. That's not all. When you unlock the car, it does this beautiful dancing effect. So very nicely done. The car looks absolutely stunning from this angle. Rear spoiler can be retracted in 5 steps. Yeah, 5 different positions for the rear spoiler. High mounted stop lamp as well. Mercedes logo, SL55 written right here. Everything is LED, of course. And you get parking sensors. There's a camera which actually pops out from here. Quad exhaust, real exhaust, of course. Yeah, there you can see that. AMG written on top. You get a diffuser treatment as well. So yes, it looks absolutely stunning. So let's actually open the boot, which is powered and useless because there's no space here. 240 liters is the capacity of the boot, but I don't know what is kept, but there's a spare wheel which has been kept, which is an alloy, but it's chintu mintu in terms of size. So let me try and figure the size. I cannot figure it out. How do I access this? There's actually a button. If I press this button there, this thing will go in. No, it will not. It will only go in when the roof is up. So yes, it creates some bit space as well. So to remove the spare wheel, you have to keep the roof up, of course. And this is to actually shut it. So you get this nice, beautiful insulation here. There's a speaker right here. And yeah, there's a AMG mat as well. So you get the warning triangle, the first aid kit, and all of that. So let me just press a button and there obviously it will shut. Smooth, nice. Let's get inside. Now here is the thing. To get into the rear, you have to actually pull this. Yeah, and when you pull this thing will move forward automatically. There it is going ahead very smoothly. And then you can decide to keep stuff because there is absolutely no space for a human being here. Look at this. This is like not even upright. It's actually forward facing. There is actually a net here to keep some stuff if you want to do that. Isofix child seat mounts, red colored seat belts for my bag, of course, because that's the only thing which can fit. Look at the amount of legroom. There is no space in this car. Safety roll bar written here. So here I push this and then it will slide back in and get into position. So everything is obviously electronic in this car. Beautiful finishing. Glove box is also decent sized. Yeah, there's a light inside as well. You can get this car in 8 colors. Yeah, that's right. 8 colors in terms of paint options. And in terms of interior trim, there are 5 colors for the upholstery. There are 2 different types of seats. And there are 2 different types of, I think, interior trims as well. And with the door open, it looks $1 million. Look at that. Isn't that really very sexy? So obviously doors open wide enough, frameless of course, which really accentuates the visual appeal of this car. And then when you come to the front, it looks like it's going to take off any moment with the doors open. That's how sexy it looks. What a beautiful looking car. Honestly, it turns attention but rains. So how do you drive this car with the roof down? I don't know. So you've got memory seats, of course, and I'm actually, okay, there it's telling me that there's someone behind. So obviously it has got all sorts of, yeah, there the seat is actually moving. ADAS functions as well, so steering is also moving, seats are also moving. Under-side support is never an issue because you can extend it as much as you like. Yeah, so like I was telling you, it has got ADAS, which is kind of useless because this is a car for self-drive. You don't need any of those. And it says AMG right here. This is fixed, but there are multiple buttons. Firstly, this is for seat heating and this is for the air scarf. What is that? It actually puts out heat from here to make you feel giddly on your neck area. So that's also there, and then I can press a button and I can actually operate the co-passenger seat as well, just in case I want to give slightly more room to my bag at the rear. There's a proper dead pedal, electric parking brake. These are the controls for the headlights. Beautiful Alcantara finishing, red double stitching right here. Decent sized. In fact, you can open the boot from here as well. Haptic controls for the outside rear view mirror adjustment, not very cool, don't work really well. Burmester sound system is absolutely phenomenal and the ambient lighting is unbelievable. In fact, let me show you a couple of things. When you actually unlock the car, it has this AMG display there. It also has some sort of a display in this Chintu Mintu gold circular rotary things, which is actually for the drive mode selector and to change various settings of the car. So it also shows some AMG specific display there, and getting in and out is very difficult. It says airbag right there. Yeah, can you see that? It says airbag there. It says airbag here as well. So yeah, and the doors are obviously much longer. Oh, doors shut with a proper third, of course. Here you get a mirror, which is obviously frameless and auto dimming. Light control here on the top. And this is proper. Usually in a convertible you don't get such a big one, but this one is proper on both the sides. Where is the light here? There's no light. Was there a light here? No light. Quite surprised. But unlimited freaking headroom. Look at the headroom, which is amazing. I love the way this has been done, the AC vents, because these are actually aircraft style, so it looks like a turbine actually. And then if you increase the temperature, it will become red. If you decrease the temperature, it turns blue. But most importantly, it has ambient lighting here. It has ambient lighting there as well. It has beautiful ambient lighting. In fact, you can see the ambient lighting right there. In fact, it's got 64 colors for the ambient lighting. So I'm just going to get into the ambient lighting, which is into comfort. Ambient lighting, multicolor, multi-chrome, and 64 freaking colors. Fantastic. The problem is when you open the roof, obviously you can see a bit of a glare. How do you manage that? There's a button here which lets you tilt the display between look at that, how cool is that, between 12 and 32 degrees to ensure that you avoid the glare. That's the reason they also have this sort of a binacle right here to avoid any glare on the instrument cluster. The steering wheel is very similar to other Mercedes cars, and it has this haptic feedback which I don't like at all. Gear selector is there, wiper controls, we just use the wipers for a bit, and proper paddles which tell you up and down. Horn is nice and loud, it's like really nice and loud. Flat bottom steering wheel, says AMG right here. This instrument cluster is the usual one which you've seen in a lot of Mercedes cars. 12.3 inch is the size, and then you can browse through a lot of displays, so there's plenty of stuff to actually go through. This is the new one, I believe, which is quite good. Yeah, it's nice. In fact, this is an 11.9 inch vertical screen, similar to the S-Class. The S-Class actually has 12.8, so this is similar to the C-Class, and it has a lot of stuff. It has the usual bits, very high resolution, very easy to browse as well, so you get plenty of information. In fact, it's got track pace, it's got AMG performance. Okay, don't use this on public roads and all that. Yeah, it's relatively easy. Let me get into car, then you can get into settings. And actually I need to change the angle of the display because I think there's some amount of glare which is coming there. It actually works. It's not a gimmick, it actually freaking works. And here you've got some storage with a USB-C charging socket. There's a light as well. This is just to keep your hand. Everything is so touch reliant now, which I don't like. Let's open this. I have to push it like this. Twin cup holders, two USB-C charging sockets, wireless charging pad. You cannot see your phone when it's charging because it's like this, so you don't even know if it's charging or not, so that's a bit of a problem. Engine start button and stop start button is actually pushed in right here. So this screen has a lot of stuff. First we will get into reverse, so I can show you the reverse parking camera. There is the camera. It's actually nice, 360-degree parking sensors which are hyperactive. If there's something around you, of course, and obviously you get adaptive guidelines. Somehow it feels that the camera is moving, but that's actually the software which is doing all that. Let me get into the home function. Beautiful maps, yeah, look at the quality of it, and then you can decide where you want to go. Again, just absolutely phenomenal. Some buttons have been given here, so you can get into camera. Look at this beautiful camera. So it doesn't match the color of the car, which is kind of disappointing. Yeah, look, yeah, that's actually very fast and very slick. So there are three options for the color of the roof as well. It's a soft top roof with triple fabric or something of that sort, which reduces the weight by 21 kgs. So I've got multiple camera views. I can just change stuff from here. Again, nothing new. We've seen this in a lot of Mercedes cars. So I will actually try to do biometrics, which will not work because my thing is not saved. But yeah, fingerprint recognition, very high tech in terms of quality. Get into settings. You can change a lot of stuff here as well. So fantastic system. Let's actually listen to some audio. Burmester sound system, yeah, absolutely awesome in this car. Seats also fantastic. I love the side bolstering, phenomenal. Overall dashboard design is similar to what we've seen in a lot of Mercedes cars, but this actually feels like a cockpit because of the turbine type AC vents and the way they have actually, you know, put this thing as well. So yes, everything feels absolutely phenomenal in terms of quality, but it's all about the engine. Yeah, there's a soft limiter at 4000 RPM. Let's start driving right away. All right, we are all set to go, which means turning off the air conditioning. I'm going to use this to get into Sport Plus mode. No, there's no race mode here. There's a separate AMG screen right here, which lets you change a lot of things. So we're actually going to get into traction control sport handling mode. And I'm also going to get into the displays, and I'm going to put, come on, performance. So here we're going to get engine data. Let's just shut this. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, hazard lights off. Yeah, it has a soft limiter. Into gear, race start not possible. So why is race start not possible? Because this car has done under 500 kilometers. So race start is not yet active. Race start is actually optional, which is there in this car. That option has been added here, of course. And performance is actually quite nice because this is a 4-liter bi-turbo V8 engine which produces 469 horsepower and a torque output of 700 Newton meters. Yeah, so it is punchy enough. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour comes up in just 3.9 seconds. The top speed is 295 kilometers per hour. There's also an SL63 which is not offered in India. That has the same 4-liter bi-turbo V8 engine, but that one produces 108 horsepower more, 577 horsepower, which is the same as the AMG GTR, the beast of the green freaking hell. But 800 Newton meters of torque. The GTR produces 700 Newton meters of torque. So yeah, additional torque output as well. That one goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 3.6 seconds. So same time as the AMG GTR, and 0.3 seconds faster than this SL55. So performance is actually nice. There is no lag as such, so it's very linear, and mid-range punch is nice. Top end is stupendous. This car loves to rev, but insulation is good. Somehow only to reduce the noise from the exhaust and the engine, because I can hear a lot of the tire noise because of the low profile tires. So these are 20 inches. Do not opt for the optional 21s because 20s are so bad, so 21s will be even worse in terms of ride comfort and insulation and sound, of course. I would say that the gearbox is very quick with shifts. So this is a 9-speed multi-clutch transmission, dual clutch of course, and you can manually take control of things and then it will hold on to a gear. Listen to this. This M177 engine is so muscular, it's so throaty, it's so raw. I love the way it sounds. It's fantastic. And I believe there must be cylinder deactivation as well, which will cut 4 cylinders to save the world. Otherwise Greta Thunberg would be so angry. Refinement levels low end, very nice. In the mid-range, it is starting to build up. And in the top end, absolutely fantastic. In fact, when you drive in a higher gear, it just feels so muscular. This is like a muscle car, but then this is a roadster. It's a GT. It's so many things at once, which is phenomenal. I love it. I love the way the engine sounds. Yeah, this M177 engine is just freaking phenomenal. But there's also an SL43 which has half the displacement. Yes, that is a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, and it has got EQ boost, of course. So it's 375 horsepower and 480 Newton meters of torque, but has an additional 14 horsepower of boost which comes in from the mild hybrid system as well. Just in case you want more thrust, you can hear the exhaust making some sound here and there. So kind of nice. And the brakes are strong. Oh yeah, they are strong, but then little bit of sound comes if you brake really very hard. So yes, that last level of grip could certainly be better. Okay, we're going to come to a halt here. Hazard lights on. Now when you drive it at lower speeds now, there is a bit of jerk from the transmission, so it kind of judders ahead and behind, which is a bit of a bummer. So it's not that smooth somehow. That's something I expect to be better. And then ground clearance is actually quite low, so it does not get air suspension, so my heart is in the mouth every time I try to go over a speed breaker. So it has got adaptive dampers, and the SL63 actually gets anti-roll bars as well, which this one does not. Turning radius isn't bad at all. You know why? Because this car has got rear wheel steering, which turns by 2.5 degrees up to speeds of approximately 100 kilometers per hour in the opposite direction at lower speeds, and post 100 kilometers per hour it turns in the same direction. So basically that is to virtually enhance and reduce the wheelbase. So it actually turns very quickly, so it's sharp enough, but you have to be really very careful over bad bumps, because trust me on this car is on the stiffer side. Obviously it's an AMG, so it has to be stiff, so you have to be really very careful. And then you're sitting so low now, the visibility is also very poor. You really can't see what's ahead as such, so that's a another sort of an issue here unless you put the seat higher up. Now obviously you can put the roof down at speeds under 60 kilometers per hour if you want to do that, and it takes around 16 seconds for the roof to come down. Around the corners it's actually dynamic enough. Yeah, there is very little body roll. Body control is fantastic, no pitch as such, and it just goes so well. Let me actually change the cluster mode to sport, which is there in other Mercedes cars as well. We're going to slow down because I am actually going to open the roof, okay, which means that I have to use this thing which is not that intuitive. Here we go. Come on, roof down. I can feel the wind in my hair, in the camera, in the cabin, and a little bit of pollution as well. Let's just hope it does not rain, and we are done and dusted. Now let's go. The sound could be a lot better. Yeah, it's so subdued and kind of on the mute side, so that could be slightly better, a lot better. In fact, there's a lot of buffeting which is happening. It's something I did not expect. I expected better sound insulation and better shut up, wind, why are you making so much sound? Yeah, it's not that awesome in terms of the way the wind insulation has been done, so slightly it could have been better. But this car actually replaces the GT Roadster, the AMG GT Roadster, as well as the S Cabriolet as well, and at speed, my goodness, I can feel wind coming from everywhere. There's a lot of sound which actually comes from the A-pillar, from the mirrors as well, and there's something continuously happening. So yes, wind in the hair is nice, but they've actually opted for a soft top when compared to the older, rather the last two generations of the SL, which actually had a hard top. So they've reduced weight by 21 kgs. But this is the SL and it weighs 1950 kgs. SL stands for super light. This is far from being super light. In fact, it's quite heavier car at 1950 kgs. But the body shell weighs around 270 kgs, which is light enough, but then getting all, oh my god, this automatically tilted or what? So getting all these aspects into play, like the screen, the deck, and the air scarf package, and all that has obviously added a lot of weight in this car. So ride is not great, handling is fantastic, performance is good, sound from the exhaust could be louder. It isn't loud enough, and then it has got a slew of ADAS functions. In fact, when forward collision warning detects something ahead of you, or even automatic emergency braking does it, it will automatically pre-tense your seatbelt to tell you that, okay, there could be a collision, so there's pre-safe, of course. Mercedes has loaded this car with so much stuff. Now, the SL is iconic. Do you remember the first generation of the SL? Yes, the one which came in 1954, the one with the gull wing doors. So that is the legacy of this car. And now we are in the 7th generation. The 4th generation became popular in India because it was used in Dil Chahta Hai. That particular model also had a hard top, I think. Yeah, I don't care about it because I love the squarish lights on that car. And what I honestly feel is the performance is obviously a lot, but I feel that 2-liter engine now also has decent amount of performance because it's producing around 375 horsepower, which is good enough. This is 469 and then we have 577. But come on, Mercedes, you should have offered us the SL63 in India because yeah, so let's get to the ride. It has got dynamic dampers. It's using steel springs and there's no air suspension here, so that's a problem over bad speed breakers. Now you can't raise the ride height of this car, so you have to be even more careful when you're going through that. And the price of this car is 2.78 crores. Registration cost is 31 lakhs. Insurance cost for the first year itself is slightly more than 9 lakh rupees. So it's CBU, it's expensive, but Mercedes has actually sold out the car completely for the next 10 months. If you order now, you're going to get your car maybe in March, April, June or something of that sort. So it's just going to come to a halt because I think there's no point of having the roof down. There's so much buffeting happening. Okay, let's change the cluster mode to super sport and let's launch this beast. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, and revving the motor. Race start not possible, and off we go. You know what, this car actually has a top speed of 295 kilometers per hour, which is fast enough, and the SL63 actually has a top speed of 312 kilometers per hour, but someone has actually managed to hit a top speed of 328 kilometers per hour on the Autobahn. So the Germans are being undercoding their performance figures, which is kind of surprising because this is a very capable car. It's quite desirable, performance is nice, but I don't know why it's not loud enough somehow. Are they not channeling artificial sounds from the speakers? I feel they are not in this particular car. That's the reason it doesn't sound loud enough. Otherwise, on the outside, obviously, it has some amount of cracks and pops and all that happening, of course. And then we are actually going to get into manual for the gearbox, which means that I just have to browse through this, and here we are, manual. Now notice one thing, okay? Firstly, I'm going to lower the speed because I think it's time we shut the roof, of course, because there's just too much sound which is coming. So here we are, 16 seconds. Are you guys counting? Yes. And we are almost done. Somehow the insulation on the roof is good enough, yeah, because with the roof up now, I really can't hear much from outside. Usually that has not been the case in sports cars where the roof is down, because I can hear a lot more there. That is done. Soft top convertible has been shut, and let's get into performance. Let's get into vehicle, and off we go. It will not downshift, because in manual mode it will not make even a downshift. Now I'm just going to browse through this and get into traction control. We're going to turn it off completely since race start is anyways not working. There's something known as AMG dynamics, which you can decide between basic, pro and master. It's nothing but slide control. So here, traction control completely off. There, it's off, and we are in manual mode. Alright, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, hazard lights off. So we are just going to put this clock because it looks kind of cool. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Let's also change the cluster mode to track pace because we can. And oh, I like the sound. And off we go. It is actually like, it's firing like a gun. It will not upshift obviously and hold down at 7,000 freaking RPM, which is just amazing. Yeah, this gearbox is going bonkers in manual mode because I'm not making a shift and it's letting me hold on to a gear. So there are 5 freaking drive modes on offer. Usually Mercedes cars have 6 drive modes on offer, but why does this have 5 drive modes on offer? Simply because I can do this. I did that right now because there is no race mode in this car. Yeah, that is not there in this particular car. Instead, we have got an individual mode which lets you tweak a few parameters here and there. So you can tweak the suspension, the drive, the gearbox, the engine and all that. But I keep forgetting. Look at it blinking red saying it cannot give me a downshift, and then it gave me a downshift. Oh my god, what a sound from this motor. I love the way it sounds at 7,000 RPM. It gives you like goosebumps. So we are talking about the various drive modes. So there is individual, of course. There is a snow mode or slippery mode. Then there's comfort, there's sport, and there's sport plus. We are driving in sport plus right now. You can change so many parameters from here. Oh, horn is nice and loud, but the insulation levels could be better. I've driven the AMG GT Roadster, which wasn't as dynamic as this car. It wasn't as stiff, but the biggest problem I face in this car right now, honestly, is just too much sound which is coming from outside. That could be very, better insulated. Somehow these windows are not able to cut down the sound, so you hear a lot of the road noise. You can hear a lot of the outside sound, which is not that great. So it started to rain again, and can you believe it? I'm driving full throttle, full bonkers with the traction control completely off because this is 4MATIC. Yes, 4MATIC is standard on the SL, the V8s obviously, because the 43 still comes with rear wheel drive only. Yeah, so that's a change which has happened now. It started to rain, which is kind of nice. I'll tell you what all has changed. This 7th generation SL is a pure AMG model. There is no regular model. So AMG has actually developed this car, firstly. Secondly, the V8s are 4MATIC standard 4MATIC, but power delivery is more rear biased, so it lets you be a little playful. But even with traction control off, I don't see that playfulness at all. They have also revised the engine, made changes to it to make it more responsive, better in terms of cooling, better in terms of performance. Efficiency wise, it will return between 3 to 8 kilometers per liter. But if you want efficiency, get the 2-liter one, which is not available in India, the SL43. Which actually brings me to the SL55's naming. 55 basically stands for 5.5 liter. That is the way they used to do the naming much earlier, where the displacement used to result in the naming. So the 6.3 is the 63, but now obviously that doesn't matter at all. The 55 naming has actually come back after 11 years because last we saw it in the G55, I think 11 years back. Yeah, that is approximately 2012. So that had vanished for so many years, and I feel the steering could be better in terms of feel or feedback. It's not super responsive. I mean, it's good, but it's not as good as the one in the AMG GT, of course. But as I see it, this is still a fantastic car. It's really very nice. It turns a lot of attention. Only thing I feel that, and something I'm complaining with a lot of cars these days, it could have been louder. It could have been a lot more louder. The grip from the tires is unfreaking believable. And because it's pouring cats and dogs, I can forget about putting the roof down anytime soon. So guys, this is my vlog of the Mercedes-AMG SL55. If you like this vlog, make sure to give the thumbs up. That's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. And pardon me if the camera's got a little teda-meda today, because I am just not able to figure out the angle of the camera which you're seeing from right now. This is the point of view on my head right now, because this car just moves about so much, and then the dashboard isn't straight, I believe. So all these challenges we are facing today. But still, if you like this vlog, do give it a thumbs up and let me know which is your favorite convertible car. And you should also click somewhere on the top right corner of the screen, or the left of the screen, or the bottom of the screen to see a video of the Lamborghini Huracan Spider. That is the best convertible car I've driven. What a sound that is! Like, I'm complaining there's no sound here. In that car I was complaining there's way too much sound. Insane car. In fact, listen to this. Now that is the kind of sound you want to hear when you're driving a Roadster, right? The main rival to this car is the Porsche 911 Carrera S Cabriolet. That costs slightly lesser than this car, but who really cares? Because when you're driving this car, all that you care about is visibility, because from my point of view, I'm able to see the steering. It's like really low seating. Bye-bye.